So you'll see here sort of how they put out the pin locations for the next couple of days. That'll be one location there. So a blue spot I think is day 2 pin. That's a tricky pin there. I mean, obviously long and left is something that really trying to stay away from. And this is a tricky green. There's not really much in terms of good areas to miss it, probably just short if anything. And then we've got a white dot here, which is where they'll put, I think, day 1 pins. So that's a bit friendlier pin, a little bit more accessible. And I'll be looking to kind of aim it around this section here, just middle of the green. But to be honest, anywhere middle of the green on this hole I think is a really good shot. So just trying to get 4 here and kind of move on. I mean, it's holes like this that you don't need to kind of play aggressive or take it on. It's a 280 yard par 4 here, all the way up the hill. But okay, yes, I could hit driver on the green, but there's also out of bounds all the way up the right. There's not much left either, so I'm better off just kind of hitting an iron here, giving myself kind of a 100 yard sort of shot in, and I kind of trust my wedge play that I can hit that close and give myself a good look at birdie. So I'm going to go 6 iron off the tee. Okay, so there we go, we've got 76 yards up the hill, so playing it like an 80, kind of 82 shot I think, and just, this is actually a good chance here. All I've got to do is just get the distance control right, but hitting 6 iron off the tee, just leaving myself a little wedge, is all you need to do on this hole, where there's out of bounds right and left. I also like to play little short game shots that I think I'm going to be faced with, where there's this pin location here where the tee is. There's a good chance that a wedge shot I can hit in could bounce onto this little bit long section here. So playing these little shots I think is really key. It gives you then a good amount of confidence when you're facing this scenario that you've already kind of hit this sort of shot. Pretty awkward though. So only just got to roll in. It's kind of cut against me a little bit wet. Don't want to play it too hard here and go sort of 10 feet by. So when it comes to par 3s, really all I try and do is literally just hit it middle of the green, and obviously trying to get the correct club, but if I can kind of hit it middle of the green and just kind of work from there, I think that gives you a good chance then to kind of maybe start to go at certain pins when they put it in certain positions. So my goal is, especially on these longer par 3s, this is 198 yards playing today, a little bit into the wind off the right, so I've got 5 iron here, but as I say, it's really just a case of just trying to get it middle of the green and just kind of work from there in terms of whether it sets up a good birdie or just kind of take the green. Okay, so here's an interesting one. So on this par 3 here, the green slopes pretty severely sort of left to right, and they've put a couple of the pin locations sort of on this right hand side here. So, you know, in essence from the tee, I don't actually need to aim at the flag here. I can just literally aim kind of in line with this bunker here, the right edge of it. And if you watch how this ball sort of feeds down and around quite nicely there. I mean, coming off the tee, that's going to come down quite a lot. So, you know, again, you don't necessarily need to aim at these flags. It's just about playing smart and just, you know, accepting that you're going to have maybe, you know, 10-20 feet for birdie, but it also takes out the, you know, the risk of bringing bogey or worse into play. So this is something that I'll look to do on this hole for sure. One thing that I always like to keep track of is how far I've hit the shots, especially into the greens. So, for instance here, this par 3 on the 15th here at Leatherhead is about 204 yards to the pin, playing a little bit downhill, wind off the left. I've hit a 6-iron here, which is pitched here. Now basically I'll just track the difference between that pitch mark and where the hole is. So that's 12 yards short of the pin where that's landed the 6-iron. So essentially that's carried 192, which is about the right sort of shot for this particular hole. So that's really how I like to dial in my distance control into the greens, because I'm constantly making notes of what the wind's doing, how far up and downhill the shots are playing, and then how far I've actually hit that shot. So that one there's a really good example that a really solid 6-iron there has carried 192, pins at 204. I know that I can't go long on that pin, so that is, you know, the perfect shot there. So we try and take that all week long.